Hello kindergarten, so today we are going to start our freight train artwork, and our learning objective for this assignment, what we should be learning about is how artwork can tell a story. And so what we did first was we read the book Freight Train by Donald Cruz, and the train had different parts to it. So we started with the track and then the different cars to the train, the different parts to the cars: gondola car, green cattle car, purple box car, black steam engine. And then the train goes different places in the story. So it goes fast, it goes through tunnels, it goes by cities, goes over trestles, and it goes moving in darkness or moving in daylight. So lots of places that the freight train goes. And so of course this example here is the freight train going over the trestles. So today we're going to start by drawing our background, and you're going to pick a part of the story that you want to do, whether you want to do it your train going through tunnels, or you want to do your train going in by cities, daytime or nighttime, or going over the trestles. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. You're going to start with a large white piece of paper, long white piece of paper, so that you can fit your train in here. You're going to write your name and the day you have art, day A, day B, day C. You're going to flip it over, and the first thing you want to do is take a black marker and draw the train tracks. So you're going to draw just one line, two lines for your train track. So one line near the bottom and another line. Now, if you wanted to do trestles, you would draw your train track near the top of your paper. So this is what you do for any other part of the story, but if you're doing your train going over the trestles like this, you're going to draw your train track in the middle of your paper. So you're going to draw one line going across the middle of your paper, and then you're going to draw a second line real close to the first one. Just like that. Now if you want, you could color this in. If you look at my finished trestle, I did color that in black. You can do that, but you don't have to. It's up to you. So now that we've drawn our train track, let's start with an example of the train going through the tunnel. So we're going to draw a tunnel, and I'm just going to draw a big hill with the black marker. So if I want my train to go through the tunnel, I start at the edge of my paper and I draw a big curved line that starts at the edge and curves down. And then I'm going to color this in black. And I want you to color it in completely and neatly. So you're going to go back and forth. I like to use the diagonal part of the marker instead of the tip. If I use the tip of the marker, it's just a skinny line. It takes a while. But if I use the wide part of the marker, I can color that in solid a lot faster. I'm going to add some green for the grass that grows on top of the tunnel. So the tunnel is like a hole in the mountain, and the mountain has some grass growing on the side, so I'm going to add some grass to the side of my hill. And then I'm going to add kind of a wavy line to show that the hill is bumpy. And you can add your grass any way that you want. So there's my scene of my train going through a tunnel. So if you want to do a scene where your train is going over the trestles, you did your train track in the middle of your paper. Then you want to draw a wavy line from the train track to the bottom of your paper. You want to color that in green. So this is the hill or the ground that the train track goes over. But the trestle is a bridge, so there's like a hole in the ground or a big space where it's open underneath the train track, and so they build the trestles to hold the train track up like a bridge. So I'm going to add that little green grass on that side and another over here, so that this is the space where my trestles go, where the hole in the ground is that the train is going over. So you're going to pick a green and color this in nice and neat, solid all the way. And then you're going to take a brown marker and you're going to draw your trestles. And what you want to start with are the vertical trestles. So again, I like to use the diagonal part of my marker, not the skinny part, and draw a thick line down to my green, skip some space, another vertical line that goes up and down, straight vertical lines going up and down, folding up the train track. And I want to add horizontal beams going across as straight as possible. Maybe one or maybe two at the most. You don't need more than that. You don't want to draw these lines super close together because then you make a lot more work for yourself. And then you're basically going to draw an X in each one of these spaces with the marker, which this crisscross bracing helps to make the trestles stronger to hold up that heavy train. So nice and neat X's inside each box. So these boxes at the bottom, they go off my paper so you won't see an X, you'll just see the top of the X, which is like the letter V. And the X's reach all the way across each rectangle. So that's how you would do trestles. Now, let's say you want to do your train going by a city. So, start with our train track at the bottom. And you're going to draw different kinds of buildings behind your city. And I'm going to start with some, or behind the track. I'm going to start with some rectangles. Tall, skinny rectangles, some shorter, wider rectangles. I can make the tops of the rectangles pointed. I could do kind of a diagonal line for the tops of some of the buildings. And then I could add some windows. And I'm not going to add a bunch of windows in each one. I'm just going to add a few windows here and there, just to show that this is a city. And I could add some buildings back here. I could add another smaller building behind, or taller building behind the shorter buildings up front. Nice neat rectangles. These shouldn't be sloppy and rounded or circles or diagonals. Take your time and draw some nice neat windows. And not every building has to have windows, but there is my example of a train going in front of the city. So then I draw my train track and then the city. Now if you want to do your train at nighttime, you're going to draw your train track at the bottom. And then I would use a black crayon to do the nighttime scene, because a marker, it's going to take forever and the marker will probably dry out. So I'm going to add a moon in the sky to show that it's nighttime, and then I'm going to color in my paper black with a black crayon because it'll be faster and easier. And I'm going to color the same direction, side to side. I'm not going to color around in a circle and up and down and diagonal because that's going to not look as neat and not fill it in as fast. But by going side to side, one direction, I could color up and down if I wanted to, but I'm choosing to color side to side. I can color in a lot faster and neater this way. And so there's my train going through the nighttime. So you're going to draw your background, either going in front of the city, the trestles, or going out the tunnel. And then you're going to create your train right on top of your drawing. So we're going to start with the engine. You're going to get a black piece of paper and an engine shape. You're going to lay the engine shape down near the middle of your paper. If you want to save yourself some time, you could scoot the engine shape to the bottom of your paper, line up the bottom of the engine with the bottom of your paper, and that would save on some cutting. And then you're going to take your pencil and trace around it. And pencil does show up on this black paper. So you're going to remove the shape, and then you can see the engine on my black paper, the pencil line, and you're going to cut that out very carefully. Follow right on the pencil lines. These can be set aside. And here's your engine, and you're going to decide where you want to glue it. If you want to glue it on the right side of your paper and your train going this way, or if if you want to glue it, flip it over and glue it going this way on your paper on the left side, and your train's going to the left. You're going to glue your train floating above your track. You're going to leave a little bit of space between the bottom of your engine and your track because we're going to add wheels later when the glue is dry. So you're going to flip this over, put a frame of glue on the back, and glue this down close to the edge of the paper, the right edge of your paper or the left edge of your paper, real close because you have to have enough room for all of the rest of your train. Your train is really long. So you're going to glue it above the train track, a little bit above the train track, really close to the edge. Don't glue it over here and leave all this space. Scoot it over and glue. Okay, so now we're ready to do the purple boxcar. So you're going to get a purple rectangle and you don't have to do anything to it. You're just going to put a frame of glue and you're going to glue this right behind the engine. But this time the purple boxcar doesn't have any wheels, so you're going to glue it just a little bit above the train track so that we can add wheels later. Okay, so you're going to glue that just a little bit above, floating above. Now we're going to have the blue coal car. So you're going to get another blue rectangle, but this time it's shorter. So you're going to cut the top of that off and you recycle that. And then this skinnier rectangle is going to get glued right behind the purple. You want to put it close to the purple, not really far away from the purple, or you're not going to leave yourself enough space. You're going to leave a little bit of space between the bottom of the blue car and the train. Squish that down. Okay. Then the next one is a green cattle car. That's just leaving the rectangle as is, putting a frame of glue on it, glue it real close to the blue coal car, and leave a little bit of space below it for the wheels. Then you're going to do the yellow hopper car. So you're going to get a yellow rectangle and you're going to get a hopper pattern. So put that, take the hopper pattern, the straight edge, top edge of the hopper pattern, line it up with the top edge of your yellow paper, and then just trace the zigzag part at the bottom with your pencil. Then you're going to cut on those pencil lines with your scissors. Zigzag, this little bit can be recycled. This part where the pencil lines are, I'm going to put my glue here, frame of glue. This gets glued right behind the green cattle car. Leave a little bit of space between the bottom of it so that you can add your wheels. The next one is the orange tank car. So you'll get an orange piece of paper and you'll get a tank shape. You're going to line up the bottom of the tank shape with the bottom of your orange paper and trace around the top and sides with your pencil, and then you're going to cut on that pencil line. Frame of glue. This gets glued right behind the yellow hopper car. Leave a little bit of space for the wheels. And the last is the red caboose. So you're going to get a red paper. You're going to get a caboose shape. Line up the bottom of the caboose shape with the bottom of your red paper. Trace around the top and the bottom sides. You're going to cut on those pencil lines. When you're tracing this shape, when you cut it out, it should be the same shape. So the hopper car, this was the shape of the pattern. When I cut it out, that was the shape of that yellow paper. The tank car, this is the shape. That's what I get for that. For the tank car, it looks just like what the shape is that we're tracing around after we cut it out of the colored paper. And then, frame of glue. Line it up behind the orange tank car. Leave a little bit of space at the bottom for your wheels. So now we have our train cut out and glued, but now we have to add those details, the wheels and the details to the cars to make it look like a real freight train from the story. And so our artwork is telling a story. So I'm going to take permanent marker and I'm going to add my wheels. The wheels to the train come in two sets. They come in two pairs. So two little wheels together at the back and two little wheels together in the front. And then I'm going to color those wheels in black. For this box car, we're going to draw two vertical lines down the middle and then some horizontal lines right inside here. Door of the car. All right, same with this car, the coal car. We're doing 2 sets of pairs of wheels, 2 little wheels in the back. And I try to make sure the wheels touch the track so it looks realistic. 2 wheels in the front. Add the coal, you're going to use a black color in the coal. And I just drew kind of a wavy, bumpy line over the top of the car to add the coal. And then I need some horizontal lines on the front, horizontal lines on the back to add some detail. The next car, 2 small wheels in the back. To add the door in the middle. So I'm going to add 2 vertical lines, a big X on the door, and maybe a diagonal line here and a diagonal line there just to add some details. For my hopper car, do 2 small wheels at the bottom of each point. Had some rocks or gravel or coal in it, so I'm going to add another bumpy line across the top and color that in. Hopper car, I need two sets of pairs of wheels, 2 small wheels in the back, 2 small wheels in the front, color in. I need 2 curved lines and then 2 curved lines on the front. Make sure you use juicy markers. Notice that this marker didn't work very well, so I capped it, set it aside, and got a better marker. Make sure you use markers that work. If your marker starts dying, cap it and get a different marker that does work. For the caboose, I'm going to add 2 small wheels in the back, 2 small wheels in the front. Add my windows, so I'm going to add a circle window in the middle, and then a square window on each side. Add 2 little rectangles at the top for smaller windows. And there I have completed my freight train, my artwork telling a story. And this artwork tells a story, the part of the story of the train going through darkness. And this freight train shows the part of the story of the freight train going over trestles.